Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where we are currently about 8 months away from our election, and we do expect after that to be able to do things. I hope? I wish? Well, we'll find out. So we're continuing to tick on forward here, and our recruitable population is continuing to come up here. This looks reasonably decent. I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to be positive with 5 under recruitment. Also, what are we lacking here? Medium tanks. Okay, so we need more medium tank production. That is not surprising. And that is, in fact, where any additional military factories are currently going. So that seems reasonably okay. We do have an unassigned infantry division, and let's send that down over here. Looks good. Beyond that, the question is, how are we doing on our construction? Well, we're currently working on some naval bases in Alaska, although we have gotten one level of that done, and we probably don't need to do any more. Construction 4 finishes, which is excellent for us. We're going to get all of this infrastructure finished up quite soon, and we are beginning work on our railways. So that seems absolutely great. We can select a new technology to research here, and I think the option here is obviously Excavation 4. We're currently about 2 years ahead of time for Construction 5. That seems okay. Let's get that going. We've got another infantry division to move into an army. Excellent. That is very, very good for us. So we can definitely think about going to... Well, we need to change over to a fascist government to get a lot of what we need law-wise. So, for the moment, there's not a lot going on there, unfortunately. But that's okay. We are currently at 86% fascist ideology, and that should, in theory, get us our election win. So that would be good. Our infantry division here can move on into this army. We're going to need a 3rd infantry army eventually. So that'll be fine. And we do have a doctrine available here. This is a special forces doctrine. And what does this actually cost? 50 army experience? Oh no, this is land doctrine. Hang on. This is not special forces at all. So we've got access to mobile warfare here for additional breakthrough. This is probably a good way for us to go. Yes, I think so. So we're going to go for mobile warfare here, giving us additional breakthrough on our tanks. That is excellent. So we're going to go that route for now. We're just looking to crush people quickly, right? That is the overall concept. Now, we do have a infantry equipment manufacturer trait to pick here. We could choose either piercing and hard attack or soft attack and breakthrough. Now, our infantry are not really designed to be used on the offensive, but our mechanized infantry are. And I want to check in real quick here. If we go into our armored division and we look at our motorized infantry here, this is using infantry equipment. So I would actually expect this to affect our mechanized infantry. So soft attack and breakthrough I think is pretty decent here. We'll take that for now. Again, I'm not interested in currently upgrading our equipment to take advantage of those traits. We will do that in a bit. Concentrated Industry 4 has finished. That is absolutely fantastic. We're not going to go further down this tree at the moment. We could consider putting this into something like the PPS 4.3. These are not super far ahead of time. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. So let's get going on that. Excellent. That'll be done in just 265 days. So this is another infantry division finished. Looks good. Then we could do a region-wide industrial integration, and we just finished a concentrated industry. So let's go ahead and take that. And this is an armored division. Okay, so we just finished an armored division. That's wonderful. And there's assembly line production finishing as well. So that is also very, very good. We do want to hop into probably at this point our infantry further. Alternatively, how are we doing on these? Okay, that's still very, very ahead of time. So for the moment, what I want to do is probably work through our companies here. Yeah, we do need to upgrade these at some point. Alternatively, upgrading here would also be very, very good. So let's get that underway for now. And what did I want to do? There was something I wanted to do here. Oh, I remember what it was. It was building additional military factories. I'm going to queue these up at the end of the queue. And I'm going to queue these up basically anywhere where we can, is the overall idea. This is within not our territory. Okay. So that's all absolutely fine. We want to do this in our territory only for the moment. So something along the lines of this should do. Cool. And then we can just come through up over here and get all of these factories queued up. For the moment, I don't believe we'll need things like refineries, but we can always change over if we do. In fact, hang on. Yes, synthetic refineries, naval dockyards. Yeah, we may want naval dockyards at some point. We don't have very many of those. We can definitely change that over if we want to. But for the moment, I'm not too concerned about naval dockyards, as I normally am not. Navy is for the weak. Definitely. That's how this works, right? Definitely. So the naval effort just finished, which was ironic timing, considering what I just finished saying. Okay. And next, we could continue to work our way down our naval effort and go with something along the lines of large or flexible navy. I would kind of prefer flexible navy here, so we'll go with that. We have an infantry division that can be assigned here, and we have another one. We're going to create a new army here and position that there. We'll assign in a new commander here, and this guy can get promoted. Fantastic. And he'll just go right on in. It's so weird that we have to close that and then come in here and then click him. I don't know what's up with that. That's very strange. We do have some free dockyards here, and we could toss this into submarines. We could toss it into early cruisers, something like this. It's slightly strange, but we'll definitely do that for now. We can also get another doctrine. This is going to be a naval doctrine. So at this point, we basically just want to max out this doctrine tree, right? So let's just continue to work our way down it. Fantastic. Right now, our biggest priority is just getting to the election and hopefully being able to do something. That would be nice. Our armored division is maxed out at this point. We would definitely like to have additional medium tanks. A lack of medium tanks is definitely a bit of a problem. There's a bit of a lack of support equipment as well. Okay, so that is certainly noted. So if there is a lack of support equipment, we should probably bump this up to 15. The medium tanks, I feel like, are a higher priority. So we'll do something like that. Our artillery manufacturer, we could take something along the lines of big guns is the only option. Okay, we'll definitely take that for now. Cool. We also have access to our motorized manufacturer here. So we could go, this is only for mechanized out over this way. Noted. We'll take additional breakthrough. Consider it done for now. Okay, so that is looking reasonably good. I want to take a look at our construction here. We're almost done maxing out our infrastructure. Is this within our territory? No, it is not. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. So we're just about done maxing out our infrastructure. That looks good. This division can be assigned here. In fact, there might be multiple divisions. No, there are not. Looks good. So we're at 1.74 million available manpower right now with a monthly growth of 2.75K. That seems somewhat reasonable. Vaguely reasonable, anyway. So that seems okay. We definitely do need to put more manufacturing into our armored divisions. We're struggling to keep up with just recruitment right now. And, I mean, drilling. We're drilling as well. But this is going to go poorly when we actually get into combat. So we definitely need to bump up our production of tanks and support equipment, for sure. What else might we need to increase production of? Actually, everything else looks pretty decent right now. We're stockpiling a pretty large amount of a lot of things. So that's okay. Flexible Navy has finished up. That's absolutely fine. I want to hop into our infantry here and grab PTRD, and that will, of course, bump up our heart attack and our piercing. So we'll get that researched. Fantastic. And we need to continue to work on our national focus. So we could take the NAV effort. Sure, why not? We'll just get that out of the way. No problem whatsoever there. We're mostly just waiting on getting fascism at this point, right? So that's okay. The world is way too peaceful. The infantry division is going to be sorted right on in. There's actually two of them. Fantastic. Was there a third? There was not. Okay. So that's looking reasonably fine. We are finishing up our final infrastructure here, and this is going to be finished in 4 days? Okay, looks good. Fuel refining 4 has finished, and what do we want to put this into? Fuel refining 5? I mean, that is ahead of time, so probably not on that front. We could start to work on some additional artillery. This is about half a year ahead of time. You know what? Let's do it. That looks absolutely fine. We'll start to work on better artillery. It would be very nice if we were able to do something. I still don't understand why we were imported as democratic. I feel like we should have at least been non-aligned. I understand not importing us as fascist or communist. That makes sense to me. But I feel like non-aligned would have made more sense for us. Even so, we probably would have been, I believe, at a bit of a disadvantage as far as doing things goes, but that's okay. We can do a region-wide industrial integration, and that, of course, means that we can queue up something like a military factory right up over here in Moscow. Fantastic. So we'll get that queued, and we're going to chunk through all of these railways pretty quickly, although there's going to be some... Yeah, this is going to be pretty lengthy to get some of these upper numbers dealt with, but we are going to work our way through these railways pretty quick. Railways are quick to build. So that is going to take some time to upgrade our overall railways, no doubt about it. There's a lot here. There's a whole lot here. Okay, there's a crazy amount here. And then we've got a few of these guys. Hang on, did I just see... Oh, these are the naval bases. Right. Let's just put those at bottom priority for now. Cool. So something along the lines of that should do for now. It's going to take some time to get that worked through, but it's also... Well, actually, hang on. We're in August right now. Next election is this month. I'm not sure exactly when, but we have 90% fascist ideology, so surely, right? I'm pretty sure. I do want to hop into our artillery here and get to work on our improved anti-air upgrade. We'll get that going. Fantastic. And we can sort this infantry division in over here. We do have a lack of tanks at this moment. No doubt about that. NAV effort has finished, and the question is, when is this election actually? August 1941. So it hasn't happened yet. We can select a national focus here, and I suppose we could go for a submarine effort. It seems okay. We can also do a land doctrine here, and delay seems decent. I mean, it's our only real option. So let's grab that for the moment. Okay. Now the question is, how does this play out, right? 90% fascist ideology. Looks solid. Okay, armored division finishes. We definitely want to send that out to the front. So off it goes. Advanced computing machine also finishes. So we're at our max research speed now. That is excellent. We could get additional radar. We'll get that going. And we can also grab an air doctrine here. So that basically means hunt and destroy. Okay, sounds good. And it's 31 August right now. What? We're still democratic? Okay. We're chilling at 91% fascist here. Is this a bug at this point? I didn't actually see any events pop up about the election. We don't have any ability to do anything here. Like, we have no way to do, like, a fascist revolution or anything like that. So that's very interesting. I might have to do some research on that because I did expect to switch off of democratic there. Okay. I'm clearly wrong about that, but that might also be a bug. I'm going to do a little research. I'll be right back. We may have to fix the bug. One moment. Okay, so having done some research on how this is supposed to work, we should have gotten some sort of event. So I'm going to say that our elections are bugged here, and that we should just fix that bug. So the question then becomes, how do you do that? Well, it's actually not very difficult to do. We can do it with the console. And at this point, I feel like we've earned it. We're at 91% fascism. And I could see maybe the fascists stayed home last time, but at this point, 3%? Yeah. No, I'm not buying that. So what we're going to need to do is hop into the console here and fix this bug. I think it's pretty clear at this point, having done a little bit of research on it, that the elections appear to be bugged, and that's fine. We can work with this. So it's just looking up the command to do this. It is set_ruling_party F, like that. So that changes our ruling party to fascist, which puts us back at the flag we had for Victoria. So that's absolutely fine. And we can just remain like this. So we are now fascist, and we're just saying the fascists won the last election. They have 91% support, right? So obviously that's the way that should work. So that seems absolutely fine to me, no problem. And that means that we can start justifying on someone like China. Now, what do they have deployed? Potentially a lot. But let's start justifying on them. And which of these... Okay, 12%. Is that going to be basically the same for all of these states? Probably, if I had to guess. But all we care about is one state, right? So we're just going to start justifying on China. To that end, I want to move up some number of military factories here. The number that I want to move up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so the idea behind that is I want to get the medium tanks and the support equipment maxed out. Now, we still have crappy old tanks. We might have to upgrade our tanks as we go through here, but what we really need right now is just a large amount of tank production. So, we moved up 15 of these. We're still working a little bit on our railway, but primarily we're working on getting these military factories built. And this pivot is, of course, happening because the fascists came to power in the election. So that sounds good. This infantry division can be dispatched out to the front, as can this one. And the world tension doesn't come through until we fabricate, I think. So we have free military factories. Oh, hang on. So all of these just moved in. Presumably that is because of... Oh, wow. 87 out of 106. 74 are received from our subjects. Presumably that is because we switched to fascism. I also want to justify on communist Kishi Juge over here. They should be under our control. So we're going to justify a war goal on them as well, but we'll need political power for that. That seems okay. We could ban democratic parties. That's probably something that we're going to want to do. But I want to toss in at least 5 factories into our improved anti-air. I'm going to put 5 into improved infantry equipment 2 for now. I'm going to put 5 into improved artillery. I'm going to bump support equipment up to 20. And I'm going to put tanks. What are we at right now? 106 out of 106? Okay. I'm going to put tanks at the plus 15 that we're currently building. So something along the lines of that. That seems okay. We'll get that underway. Beautiful. And of course, we'll have these constructions done pretty soon here. This is actually 3 in Tianjin, but that's okay. Everything else here is 1, and we'll get to work on our railways pretty quickly thereafter. So that looks very, very good. Now, we can start to make some changes on our laws as well. We could move down to war economy, which is probably exactly where we want to be. We can also start to think about moving to limited exports or closed economy. So there is that as well. And then we can go to extensive conscription when we can. That is something that we're going to want to do. So we've got a fair amount of political power that we need to spend on those things. We are seeing the world tension ratcheting up by us, which is expected. That is fantastic. We don't want that tension to go up too high just yet. We would love it if there was just a war on China and we crushed China first before anything else. That would be fantastic. Next up, we've got this infantry division. We can sort that in. No problem. We definitely need more armor. That's for sure. We have free military factories again. Wow. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to get more factories working on tanks. That seems okay for now. We need all the tanks we can get at this moment. We'll probably be overkilling our tanks. Oh, hello, Great Britain's flag. What are you? Non-aligned. Okay, noted. And France is communist and the US is democratic. That's actually really, really good for us. So we need a new technology to research here. I am going to start working, I think, on the 1943 Heavy. Possibly. We're going to need the 1943 Heavy and Medium in order to get to modern tank chassis, and that's when we're going to make our big expensive tank in terms of army experience. So let's get started on that. It's going to be a bit of a long-term project. That is understood. So submarine effort has finished, and we're going to grab, say, cruiser effort for now. That seems fine. It is very nice to actually be able to do things now, even if we had to fix a bug to do it. So that seems absolutely great. But yeah, we just never got our election events, so I'm thinking our elections were bugged. It's fine. We can just fix that bug. So this is an infantry division. We have a lot of infantry. And these are not intended to be used on the attack. They're intended to be used exclusively on the defense. Improved anti-air upgrade 2 has finished. And this is 1.14 years ahead of time, but I think getting the 1943 anti-air is still okay. That's only 200 days out. Actually, 188. So let's get that going. That seems absolutely fine. This is an armored division. Hey, excellent. We definitely want to get our armored divisions pressing inward here. That's going to be very important. So we're seeing the world tension ratcheting up. Research has finished on our infantry soft attack. I kind of just want to grab the RPG-43 right now, even though it's 1.11 years ahead of time. It's only 271 days, so let's get that going. Improved decimetric radar is probably not a huge priority for us. Let's get started on Construction 5 at this time. We're taking a lot of further out research at this point. The PPS-43 has finished up. That is great. We could also grab Improved Infantry Equipment 3, but that is quite expensive at 2 years ahead of time. So I think we'll avoid that for now. We can go for, say, Engineer Company 3. That'll be okay. And we do get an additional Infantry Equipment Manufacturer bonus. So what do we want to take here? We pretty much have to take heavy anti-armor ammunition. So we'll do that. That sounds good. Now, we should have outdated equipment in production, specifically Infantry Equipment 2. So we could create a variant of Infantry Equipment 3, upgrading with the latest traits. And we'll put that in. Fantastic. We're going to have to work up our production efficiency, yes. We have a lot stockpiled of the older types. That's okay. We'll get there. So this is an infantry division here. Beautiful. I want to check in. Okay, we're definitely doing better on our medium tank counts, but it still needs some work. I think that's very, very clear. So we're currently producing about 8 medium tanks per day, and that number is still ramping up. Sure, that seems fine. So our tank manufacturer, we can grab, say, command upgrades for additional breakthrough. Looks good. Now, can we only upgrade these with one upgrade? It says latest upgrade. So that's interesting. If we were to go into our production here and we were to create, say, a variant of this guy, upgrade with latest traits to have the latest design team traits, plural, designed. Okay. And that currently lacks a main armament. Okay. That's understood. We would need that to be the... It's the interwar medium tank chassis. Okay. I'm not sure where this went, but it's currently here. Sure. Okay, well, we'll ignore that for now. It will, I'm sure, not be a problem later. Definitely not. How's our justification going on China? I want to check in here. Okay, we've got a ways to go on that. Noted. That's absolutely okay. We can grab capital ship effort for now. An infantry division has finished here. For the moment, I think only having one army group is reasonably acceptable. And we can check in on our supplies out over here. It's not the best in the world. That's not shocking. We could certainly grab something along the lines of anti-air layout. That seems fine. We can also grab a naval doctrine here. Okay. So we'll do carrier primacy. Sounds good. We've done literally nothing with our navies, and that is the way it should be. Fantastic. So here's artillery 3 finishing. Looks good. And from here, we're just going to grab the advanced artillery upgrade. And we have our artillery manufacturer here. We can grab supercharges. There we go. And then lightweight barrels eventually. We're going to want to change our improved artillery to advanced artillery 3. And I want to upgrade with the latest traits, but there are actually no traits for that. So that seems fine. We're just going to go to advanced artillery 3 and start working up our production efficiency. Looks good. How are our constructions doing? We're actually working exclusively on railways now, so that looks good. Those will finish up eventually. Eventually. But that seems fine for the moment. Our war with China will break out soon. Very, very soon. I want to be clear about that. But it is time to put a cut in here. Before we do that, I'm going to bump us down to extensive conscription. Now that we can do that. Fantastic. So we'll mobilize on up here, and that'll be great. We're going to be done recruiting infantry fairly soon. We will probably be recruiting more later, although we may want to continue recruiting and put them into like a reserve or something like that. We'll think about that. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to actually go to war in this war game. I know that's remarkable, but we finally managed it. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.